doing? Better now that we're together, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. Donald Sterling, did you see last night the shocking, offensive comments that he was making? All right, I'll break that down. And Beyonce's sister bashed Jay-Z in the elevator. And that would be my top story, so let's get to it. It's time for Hot Topics. I had to take it back to season 3 of The Wendy Show. Well, here's the thing. I didn't want to miss a beat in the story, so I have my own notes too. Okay, let's talk about it. All right, so the biggest story around the world seems to be Jay-Z being attacked in the elevator by Beyonce's sister Solange. It's leading on all the newscasts. Of course, it's a hot topic here, but it's amazing how the world has let go of everything else important and is talking about this. She is kicking his behind. And the security guard's trying to hold her back. Beyonce's next to Jay-Z in the corner. And I know you've seen this footage before, and you know that Beyonce waited a long time before she stepped in between them. Yes, she almost kicked him in his area, but he caught it. This was at, as you might know by now, the after party to the Met Gala. It was at a place here in Manhattan called the Standard Hotel. The hotel is upset because the footage even got out, because this is supposed to be a place that caters to celebrities. But who falls for that? You know, of course, this footage probably made somebody rich. The only thing that would make somebody richer is the person who's got the audio. Okay, so now, you know, I will just say that the people have been speculating and saying, well, why didn't Beyonce get in the middle? In my mind, Beyonce didn't get in the middle because Solange was probably attacking him over something that he knows he was dead wrong about, and therefore, sister didn't get in the middle. And a lot of people are also saying, well, Jay-Z really held his head because, you know, real men don't hit girls, except there's some footage online of Jay-Z hitting a female fan back in the day. Allegedly. The legal team is up there going crazy with the alleged button. The video, everyone, is 3 minutes and 27 seconds. So if you'd like to see the whole video, you can do that on your time. But the bodyguard to Beyonce stopped the elevator in the middle of, you know, going down. They were exiting the party, so they were on their way out to the paparazzi to get in the car and stuff. So stopped the elevator, and the fight went on. And I guess the security guard, by not just... Look, Beyonce and the security guard were standing there like this is nothing new between Solange and Jay-Z. You know, it didn't look like something new. I mean, otherwise, wouldn't you have jumped in the way and stopped it if you were Beyonce? If this was something new, she just stood there in a very delicate dress. I mean, if she did much more, a boob would pop out, because, you know, she was wearing that very revealing dress. All right, so here's what I have. Solange's purse. You know, you see there at one point, by the way, at one point, I think I even see Solange spitting on him. You know what I mean? Solange's purse right there is a 1.1 pound Anna Heinmark metal bag. So it could have definitely done some damage if she connected with his face. In addition, people are saying that inside of this after party to the Met, that Solange got into some sort of argument with the fashion designer Rachel Roy. Now, Rachel Roy used to be an intern at the Rockaware, whatever, back in the day. And that is when, look, I'm sorry, I gotta say something when I get in the purple chair, so I'm talking. Now look. Back in the day, those offices were Dame Dash and Jay-Z. This is going back to my radio days, you all. Come on, rock with me. There are pretty girls and models walking all around there, posing as interns and secretaries. And it's also was known, I'll say alleged, for the legal team, that Dame and Jay-Z would pass girls around up there. Rachel, were you one of those girls? Come here, Suzanne. I want to give you an example of why it might have been that Solange came out of her face at Rachel in the party in front of other people. Because Jay probably did some stupid slick man mess walking with his wife like this. How I'm doing? No, but you know what I mean? Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I can't figure out how it is that Beyonce did not get involved with this unless something happened to that party that Beyonce knows that Solange was right and Solange is just sick and tired of it. And she probably went over to his face during the party and said something slick like, you know what? You're not gonna do this with my sister right here. You're not gonna do this with my sister right here, right? And then the three of them left the party, and as soon as the elevator door closed, there's 3 minutes and 27 seconds of beatdown. I mean, so, you know, and then Dame Dash went on and married Rachel. So therefore, you know, when Rockefeller, whatever split up, Jay-Z's parting shot could have probably been something like, and I had your wife. Listen, this is a disgusting business. That's all I'm gonna say. This business is so disgusting that I can't. And people were accusing, you know, saying, well, maybe Solange was drunk and therefore went out. But when we show her walking out of the place, she doesn't look drunk. Roll that footage. She doesn't, let's just watch this together, okay? There's the security guard. She doesn't look drunk. She's not teetering on her heels. Her hair is laid. Shout out to her hairstylist. Now watch this, watch. He's not allowed to get in the car, and Beyonce gives a smile and gets in the car with her sister. Now, you can ride with whatever theory that you have about this, but I'm sticking with the Wendy theory. I'm sorry. By the way, everybody needs a sister or cousin or something like that in a Solange. So, you know, Solange, you know, good for you and good for your earlobes too, girl. Yeah, both earrings, you still look put together. But you don't mess with Solange when it comes to Beyonce. You know that, or when it comes to her mom. The word on the street has always been that when Matthew came home with the mistress and pregnant with the little half-brother Nixon, that Solange took it to her father too. You know, you just don't mess with Solange. And I'm trying to think of what in the hell a sister is getting in the way of her married sister, because like your marriage is sacred, you know. Your marriage is sacred, and but there aren't too many reasons I think that a sister would get in the way and start pummeling in a public venue. Now, the elevator was private, but everybody knows the cameras are watching. And they were stepping out to the paparazzi. And this is Beyonce and Jay-Z. Like, I don't think she was out of her mind. I think that Jay-Z has done something really foul, more than a few times in this marriage. And it is my belief that these two people, unfortunately, because I think he dips it where he works and dips it like in the industry, in my opinion. So therefore, when you go into the Oscars or you go to the Met Gala or you go to this party, it's not like random chicks. There's Rachel Roy and there's this one, and there's that one, and no. Oh. And this is not my last note, but this is the last thing I have written down on here. Shut up, you guys. Beyonce used to have a tattoo of Jay-Z on her ring finger. Show the picture and pull up on the ring. Do you see? Okay. I hate this show. We are so damn nosy. Let's show the picture of a ringless Beyonce so we can pull up on that finger and see that the tattoo is on its way off. There's a little Band-Aid over it. Do you understand, or are you just awing? Am I like Angela Lansbury? You know, I always appreciated Murder, She Wrote because she doesn't use a gun, she just uses her brain and knows the clues. See, I don't use a gun, but I think this is some pretty damn good detective work. In conclusion, something smells very rotten in Denmark. And I think that all marriages go through stuff. And so they're no different in terms of stuff than any marriage. But I think that Jay-Z and Beyonce, I wish that they weren't going on this world tour. I think that they need to have several seats for a moment. I don't want to see them going to Nets games. I don't want to see them out for dinner. Cook something, or hire a. You know, you got to cook at home. You're like, you all just need to. Like, I think that they need to lay low. As much as we love to see them out and about, I enjoy seeing them at the games, also smiling and having a good time. And when they're out with that little daughter, now look at her checking his text. I mean. You see, then the more they go out now, the more under scrutiny their relationship is going to be. And that's not right because all marriages go through something. It just so happens that there's something is on a Sherry Shepherd is so happy that this story happened. Sherry. Hey, Sherry girl, I'm telling you, whatever you and your husband, soon-to-be ex-husband, are going through, all you gotta do is wait a beat, and another celebrity does something, and everybody forgets. So Sherry is someplace like, thank God for Solange. It is a very unfortunate situation. I don't think that this couple is going to make a statement. Why do they have to make a statement? I don't believe that they have to make a statement. What are they gonna statementize? You know, I've said what I said, and you'll keep talking, because we're all talking. It's the front page of the news, and it's the lead newscast on every news thing. Solange, more power to you. And Beyonce, I wish I had a sister who would fight like that. I mean, I know she would, but my sister's older than me. And she'd be scared of breaking bones. And Jay-Z, no good's gonna come to you until you fill in the blanks. Thank you. We've got a lot of ground to cover today, so let's just start, because the streets are still talking about what led up to Solange's violent attack on Jay-Z in the elevator. You never get tired of seeing this video, say some of the producers that work here. I'm over the story, actually. But, well, I am, but I know it's my duty to spill it, so I'll continue. We all know the Standard Hotel, the Met Gala after party, yada, 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 a 3-minute and 27-second video. Of course, we can't show you the whole thing, but you see the important parts, including that parting shot that she gives him as they're leaving the, I don't mean to laugh, that's not right. But of all the things that security guard did, and by the way, I get that he's there to protect Beyonce, but why would he leave Solange and Jay-Z in the elevator so she can get that parting shot? Anyway, so the first theory I'm gonna tell you comes from the New York Daily News today. It says that Solange's friend, oh, by the way, remember my comment about Rachel Roy yesterday, the clothing designer? I left a beat out of that story, and that beat is Rachel Roy and Solange were friends enough to attend the Met Gala in 2012 together, just so that you know. Anyway, back to the party at the Standard. One theory that the Daily News has today is that Solange's friends showed up at the Standard Hotel using Jay-Z's name to try to get through, because I guess, you know, the Solange name wasn't powerful enough. And no, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, like, this is a really crappy industry. Like, she's probably sick and tired of being called Beyonce's sister Solange. You know, she actually does put out some pretty good earthy music. You know, she's got her following, she's a DJ, and she's an artist herself. And I get it when Beyonce's your sister, that we call her Beyonce's sister Solange, but that has got to be tiring. You know what I mean? So the friends show up, and the friends are using Jay-Z's name to try to get into the party. The friends are dressed inappropriate, and I don't know who the friends were, but they might have been like some Brooklyn hipsters. She lives or lived at one point over, you know, like she's a hipster. Maybe they. Anyway, the point is that a party like that doesn't have plus fives. You can't just bring people in. Jay-Z got upset, according to the Daily News, and you know, told her, you know, stop using my name to get in, you know, for your friends to get into the party. Well, that's one theory. You know, I still stick with the theory that I told you about yesterday, the whole Rachel Roy and Solange got up in her face. I don't feel like going through it. Go to my YouTube channel. You can look back on Hot Topics. But and they also were only in this party, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Solange, for 20 minutes before they left because she got up in Rachel Roy's face and, you know, that was an argument. Jay-Z, another theory is, tried to ditch Beyonce and Solange to go to Rihanna's party. And it's being alleged that then Solange said, well, why do you have to go to another party without your wife? Why can't you just go home? If you know what she was implying. Then there's another theory. There's another theory in the New York Post today, and they said that Solange was very drunk. Well, you want to know what? We talk a lot about people around here, but I'm going to tell you one thing right now. I don't believe that Solange was drunk. I don't believe Solange was high. But what I am wondering is, do Beyonce and Jay-Z want to protect their own reputation so much that they actually have their publicists putting that out there? You see? You make it so that, you know, Jay-Z and Beyonce will be fine, and people will look at Solange as being the wayward, drunken, you know, sister, because our reputations and our image, you know, as the premier couple is so important that we'll just throw Solange under the bus. I wonder. All right, so there was a body language expert that told the Daily Mail. Well, no. Listen. Oh, if you want me to tell, I'm going to dissect a story for you. You know. Excuse me, dissect. I've always had a problem with that word, dissect. Anyway, a body expert told the Daily Mail that Beyonce's reaction in the elevator shows that this probably has happened before. The way she just stood there. Which, you know, I said that yesterday, and I think a lot of you all agreed with me through the TV and whatnot, that, you know, for Beyonce to just be standing there and doing nothing at all, like none of this was surprising to her, you know, and then people are throwing it around, you know, on the blogosphere that Jay-Z puts hands on Beyonce. Now I say, whoa, where are we going with this? And there are a whole bunch of pictures with close-ups of bruises and things like that. Oh, excuse me, you bump your knee on the cabinet and you get a bruise if you're thin-blooded like me. So yeah, I'm not buying that part. But anyway, Solange and Jay-Z reportedly were spotted yesterday in Manhattan at a jewelry store shopping. Yeah, no, I've heard outlets talking about this, but I've got the real tea because Mr. Flawless happens to be a family friend. And so we call Mr. Flawless and he says, no, Solange and Jay-Z were not here looking at buying or checking out jewelry, but Money Man Mayweather was. Yeah, so it was Floyd Mayweather, and that was what all the hoopla was in front of Mr. Flawless jewelry store. So, by the way, Beyonce this morning woke up and posted these pictures on her Instagram page, you know, wanting that sisterly thing back. They'll get it back together, but they got to straighten out their mess. And I say the only way you straighten it out is stay in the house. Stop going to Nets games. You know what I mean? Pop your popcorn, put on the ID channel on low tone so that you can hear each other talk. You know, you drink your champagne. You just and stay in the house for like, you know, 5 years. And just, well, or however long it takes to straighten this out. I mean, Beyonce and Jay-Z are going on their world tour still. As a matter of fact, as recent as yesterday, didn't they add like 4 more dates? 2 more? Yeah. So they're gonna be out touring. Why don't they have Solange be their opening act and then you all can be on tour and get it together? Okay, the person who leaked the security video of Solange attacking Jay-Z was found and then fired. Reportedly, it was a female security guard. And she didn't take the tape from the hotel security system, she recorded it on her cell phone. Well, that was smart though, because I mean, I'd be thinking about just take the tape. So that was smart. The less than smart thing is that it took her 5 days. She shopped it around for 5 days before she got, you know, some dough for it. Finally, you know, it was TMZ who bought the video. Originally, it was reported that whoever sold it for $250,000, but now there's some discrepancy in the amount of money. Some people are saying $50,000, some are saying $100,000, others are saying $250,000. Either way, now she's gonna lose it all because now the Standard's going to sue her. They've hired a high-priced lawyer to go after this security guard girl. And now, you know, she can never be, I guess, a security person again since she's a security breacher. It's terrible. I mean, not terrible. What's terrible is that you didn't just show up here at the Wendy show, knock on the door, and, I mean, as of right now, that tape was leaked 71 hours ago. So I figure the Standard was trying to, you know, look at timelines, who was working, you know, figure out who it was, and they figured it out. If I were a security guard, the only person that I would tell is my mom, because she'd have to be the one to go out and sell it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do it. And you need a partner in crime, but, you know, maybe the security guard bragged to her friends, you know, bought all her girls Gucci bags, and they're like, girl, where'd you get this money? I think I'm not saying breaking the law is right, but I'm saying it's brilliant that she did it on the camera phone. You should have taken it right to either A, the Wendy show, because we're right here in New York, or, no, you guys think I'm joking. We keep a budget for things like this. Or B, all right, buy a plane ticket, go out and see Harvey Levin at TMZ and sell it to them. It shouldn't have taken her to go around to a hot as tomato video like that. It shouldn't have taken 5 outlets for you to sell it. Oh, security girl. Now your booty's in a sling and you're gonna be sued and you lost your job and now everybody's laughing at you. But it's the best piece ever. To me, it's like she's a hero, because otherwise we wouldn't have known about this. You know, this is the story that keeps on living. I mean, Beyonce and Jay-Z and Solange are now getting flack because they haven't put the rumors to rest. Whatever the rumors are, people feel as though they need to, you know, have some sort of interview or make some sort of statement. It was even suggested here on our show that they need to sit down with Oprah. And I'm like, all right, I'll give you my opinion. Clap if you think that they need to say something. See, I don't feel as though they owe us an explanation because the video speaks volumes, you know. The video speaks volumes. It looks like this is not the first time that this has happened between those two, and not the first time that Beyonce has just stood there. But I mean, you know what I mean? Just stood there and let it happen. As a matter of fact, if anything, it seems to me that Beyonce is a very, very passive woman probably when she gets off that stage, just by indication of what we saw in the video. She really does need that Sasha Fierce persona, you know, to go hard, because I don't think she's hard in real life. And as far as that ring finger thing, I think that is the tell-all sign of everything. Now see, the 4 is because he was born on the 4th of whatever month he was, and she's born on the 4th month of whatever she was, and then the Ivy is like that Roman numeral 4, that's why they named her Blue Ivy. And so that is very significant, this tattoo to their relationship. And here she is with her ring and it's on in happier times, and here she is where it's off, and that's a little blurry and grainy, but trust me when I tell you that it's not what it was. Can you see that? That is a telltale sign. Now, the process of the removal happened before the elevator beat down. So things have been probably a little shaky in Denmark, but that's how marriage goes, you know. But things have probably been shaky in their lives for a moment now. And then people are saying, well, Solange might feel some type of ways because, you know, Jay-Z, if he's the king of all, you know, what he does, and he puts out Rihanna and he puts out Rita Ora, and Solange is attractive and she can sing. Why haven't you put out me, brother-in-law? Maybe she has some sort of resentment, you know? In addition, maybe he doesn't treat her sister as kindly as they want us to believe. And Solange knows stuff, you know? I'll tell you what, though, I don't want to see Solange making fun of it. The rumor in the street is that she's supposed to be on Saturday Night Live this weekend. I mean, I don't mind seeing them make a joke of it, but I don't want to see none of them Knowles, Carter people make no jokes about nothing. And I also don't need a statement, but I also insist that they need to sit down, and I've been pretty consistent with it. They need to go in the house and have several seats until the start. No, you know why? You know why? Because this story will go away. Because there's a celebrity right now up to no good, and we'll find out about that on the evening news. And that story... If they were smart, this is just me thinking, they really do need to have Solange as the opening act and change the name of the tour to A Family Affair. And none of them, no, isn't that a good idea? You laugh. I think that's brilliant. And yeah, you know, you might be looking at them side-eyed if you're gonna go to the concert. I mean, but you know, just because it'll be bringing up all the memories, but by the same token, things happen in all relationships, not to that extent necessarily, but, you know, I don't feel as though they owe us an explanation. And again, to the girl with the tape or anybody who has any tea, if you're looking to dump it, we're right here in Chelsea. We're right here. Ugh, people are still talking about Solange and Jay-Z and Beyonce. I was tired of the story after the first day I did it because, you know, if you recall the first day I did it, I gave you my theory. It turns out my theory is the Rachel Roy theory. Well, we'll talk about it later. Brian Baltazar is coming out with the inside scoop and he's gonna break it down. But did you see Saturday Night Live over the weekend? They had an interesting theory about what caused the fight in the elevator. Check it out.
We got an exclusive version of the leaked video. This time with the audio included.
It tells a completely different story. Look. Man, what a great party.
I know, yep.
Oh my God, there's a spider on you.
What? Get it. You know I hate spiders.
It keeps moving.
Kick it.
Oh my God.
Oh, great job. I love you, Solange.
I love you too.
Hey, thanks again for that help with that spider.
You know what? No problem. Foot dive.
Let's go back to the party.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Oh my God, the spider's back.
Get it. I got arachnophobia. I love you.
Love you too.
Fun. Well, I'm gonna catch you up to date on the Solange Knowles thing. Did you notice I didn't say Beyonce's sister Solange? I think, oh my gosh. In a weird way, I think this scandal might be helping her develop her own identity. Because I'm guilty just like you are. We always say Beyonce's sister Solange. Anyway, she could be going to jail. Solange attacked Jay-Z, as you know, and now with the footage out there and everything, we're not the only ones who saw it. The cops here in Manhattan saw it too. And now they're saying that they're thinking of charging her with attempted assault. And if you know a little bit about the law, you know the law is such now where you don't need, Jay-Z does not need to file charges. If the cops see something wrong, that's like, you know, if your boyfriend punches you in the face and breaks your nose and you call the cops on him and then the cops show up and you're icing your nose, but you and your boyfriend have made up and you tell them there's no trouble here, I don't want to press charges. The cops these days now are allowed to go over what you want to do and press charges based on what they see. See? And this right here wasn't just, you know, a punch in the arm or a mush in the side of the head. I mean, this was a violent attack by a woman who clearly wanted to do damage. I mean, you know, she came at him with a metal purse and tried to kick him in the jewels. Yeah. So, and you know, so I'm sure that they're not going to throw her in the squad car and put the cuffs behind her. Maybe they will treat it as an incident where they issue a warrant for her arrest and then she will just, you know, drive herself to the police station and go in and answer the questions without the cuffation and all the embarrassment. But I gotta tell you something, I believe that this could very well happen. I mean, the buzz is everywhere right now that she could be arrested. But listen, here in Manhattan the other day, Alec Baldwin was riding his bicycle the wrong direction on Madison Avenue. They put him in the cuffs, threw him in the squad car, and took him down to the station house. So if they can do that for an old man riding a bike, I mean, not old, but you know what I'm saying? If they could do that for, you know, an older gentleman riding a bike who wasn't fighting, then imagine what they would do to a young black girl in the elevator, scrapping. And how does this entire story affect the whole brand of all three of them? Well, we're going to talk about it later on in our Hot Talk panel. We got my feisty friends here to break that down. You know, on another note, I don't think that Solange, I take that back, because Solange I don't think has a brand. Solange has fans, and she's got music that people really enjoy. But if anything, this has helped bring her into the forefront so more people know exactly who she is. Doesn't mean that she's going to make a song that's going to be on the hit parade, you know, at a radio station. But at least for those of you who didn't know exactly who Solange was, other than Beyonce's little sister, now you know. She's a fighter. The biggest story of the week seems to be this Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Solange elevator fight. It's the shots that rang around the world. Beyonce and Jay-Z always appear to be very controlled and perfect and seem to go out of their way not to be messy in front of us. So I think we were just all so shocked when we saw this video footage. Don, I'm gonna come to you first. Yeah. Does this hurt their brand?
No, I don't think it hurts their brand, but it depends on how they respond to it and what comes out. If he was doing something shady, and it comes out that, you know, he was cheating on her or something like that, then it hurts their brand. But I don't think it hurts their brand right now. I think it makes them more real because they had been too perfect, I thought.
That wouldn't hurt. First of all, that wouldn't hurt Beyonce's brand. That might hurt Jay-Z's brand if that comes out, Don.
It's music. Come on. It's not like they're the royal couple. It's music. How's it going to hurt their brand?
Yes, they are in some people's eyes. I mean, she's the biggest, you know, pop star in the world.
Yeah, but she stood there like a robot. She didn't do anything.
Well, she's absolutely perfect.
If she had gotten ghetto and started pulling some hair, then yes. But
she has a reputation for being perfect that only enhanced her reputation. Here she was, tested in the extreme, having to choose between her husband and her sister. And what did she do? Yeah. Absolutely nothing. She's Buddha. She's Gandhi.
It says a lot about who they are as people because Jay-Z, he didn't know that there was, he probably knew there was a camera, but I'm not sure he did not hit her. It says who he is as a man. He didn't snatch her. He didn't grab her. He let the security guard do it.
Congratulate Jay-Z for not hitting her.
Because there's YouTube footage showing that he has hit a girl before.
Okay, in the past, but so maybe he's mature. We all mature, Wendy. Come on.
Well, but he's learned his lesson.
I feel like this does not hurt their brand, but it definitely changes perhaps the way we look at them. Some people, well, look, let me tell you something. She's the same person who says, who runs the world? Girls, girls. And in private life, she's as passive as a pussycat.
And that's Wendy, you said the other day that maybe Jay-Z did something and Beyonce was angry.
I know what I said.
And that Solange was like taking care of her sister. Lord help the mister comes between me and my sister. Maybe Beyonce was like,
all about Solange. This is about Solange trying to make a name for herself. Frankly, I never knew who the hell Solange was until she kicked and hit Jay-Z.
Yeah, but
and let me tell you, let's face it, this hitting is her first hit that she's ever had. Let's be real.
I think Solange.
It's true. It's true.
I think Solange comes off looking like the crazy one here.
Yeah, but Solange doesn't have a brand, so if anything, it just raises her public awareness.
And we're not calling her Beyonce's sister anymore.
Right.
But we're calling her Cray Cray.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Oh, hold on. I think behind closed doors, you will find a lot of people have kerfuffles.
Well,
you will
we
find
all
they
have-
do things like
No,
this.
here's the point. Do you imagine what it's like to live in the shadow of Beyonce and Jay-Z?
You're not making,
Yeah,
it sounds
you
like
know-
you're making an excuse for violence, though. That's not an excuse for
No,
violence.
I'm saying from a psychiatric perspective, she wants attention. If she can't get good attention because she's not talented
talked
enough,
about that
she's
yesterday.
going to go for
Well,
bad
do
attention.
some yoga and go for a run. You don't lose your temper and hit someone. I mean,
Now
come
more
on.
than 1 million people have tweeted her name. We all know who Solange is
Yeah.
for the first time.
She's
And then
Beyonce's
I
sister.
researched her. She has a history of erratic behavior.
Yeah.
She has a history of, let's say, maybe tippling a little too much, maybe
Yeah.
smoking a little too much.
Yeah.
So, this is a girl with problems who happens to be the sister of one of the most incredibly talented,
There's
influential
gotta
women
be
on
some
the planet.
bitterness. There's got to be some anger in Solange having to live in Beyonce's shadow, and it's very unfortunate. We did a poll at wendyshow.com. 51% of you said that yes, this will hurt their brand, and I was so sure 51% of my
I think
people.
it makes them look human. We all have crazy family members. Wendy, I know I have them. I know you have them.
Yeah.
The difference is our crazy family members don't realize that things can go viral
Crazy family
because they're
member
not in the
doesn't involve
public eye.
violence in
Right.
I mean, that was
But
violent.
she should know better because she's in the public eye already. She should know better than that.
Kim and Kanye's wedding, as you know, is this weekend. But there's major drama, which to me is easily fixable, but all parties probably wouldn't agree. Jay-Z and Rachel Roy are both expected to attend. You remember Rachel, the one allegedly in the middle of the Solange elevator beatdown. You know who Rachel is. Well, you didn't know this part. Rachel is also, she's invited because she's one of Kim's best friends. And I'm not talking about the superficial best friend. This is the best friend. They went house hunting. She went house hunting with Kim together. What else did they do together? Bridal shower, she was there. Oh, she was there at the stadium when Kanye proposed and everything. So this isn't like some random person who's a friend. This is like a friend. So in this case, who would you rather have more? Oh, by the way, she's closer to Kim, obviously, than Beyonce, who's, to me, not close at all, But still, who would you rather have at your wedding? Jay-Z and Beyonce or Rachel Roy, the best friend? Okay, wait. Clap if Rachel needs to be there no matter what. Well, then we agree to disagree. Because I might be superficial only when I'm sitting here on this chair and I'm trying to think like a lot of the world, very superficial. If I was Kim, I'd rather have Jay-Z and Beyonce at the wedding. Sorry. Rachel can be at the next wedding. This wedding right here is all about the photo opportunities with Kanye and Kim and Jay-Z and Beyonce. Alas, honestly, here's what I think should happen. I think that Jay-Z and Beyonce both need to stay in New York and not go to this wedding. There is no way, and it's not because I don't trust Jay-Z. First of all, Beyonce, is not going to be going to this wedding. So believe what you read. I'm telling you right now, the girl will not be there. With or without Rachel Roy. But now knowing that Rachel Roy was there, the woman at the center of the elevator beatdown, I'm not going to this wedding, number one, as Beyonce. And number two, if you're my man, then you're not going either. And look, check it out. And the reason that I say you're not going either, it has nothing to do with me thinking that you're gonna end up in the hotel sheets with Rachel Roy, because that is dead. Too many people are watching. But the reason that I wouldn't want you to go is because because they've chosen her over us or over you. And I would call Kanye if I was Jay-Z and I'd say, look, man, and flip it, right? Make it seem like, look, man, Rachel's gonna be there and I'm gonna be there and I don't want any attention taken off of you, man. This is your big day. Like flip it. Flip it with a Jedi mind trick. But, so will Jay-Z be there? I don't know. He's one of the best men. But you want to know what? In this superficial business, you can collect another best man over at the elevator. At the hotel in Italy or something like that. If I were Jay-Z and Beyonce, I wouldn't be there. Let Rachel have her moment with her best friend if that's what Kim wants her to do. Hold on, and then I have to tell you something. Anyway, one of the biggest celebrity couples in the world could be over. You know it. Jay-Z and Beyonce. Well, personally speaking, I'm doing this story because I think that you're curious. Quite honestly, I think that this is the kind of couple that will stay together, you know, because it's good for business and because they don't want to disappoint us and because, you know, they don't want to disappoint, I guess, you know, our Father who art in heaven, you know. But anyway, so according to the New York Post, they're on the Run tour, could be the end of their marriage. Well, magazines and Entertainment Tonight style shows and whatnot have been talking for weeks about, you know, their marriage not being on such solid ground. They reportedly are trying to figure out a way to split without divorcing. In other words, a hood divorce. Listen, they say that they are worth $1 billion collectively, so that is a lot of money to divide. I could never stay together for the purpose of pleasing you all. Like, if I'm not feeling marriage, I'll be the first one to let you know. It's done. And I wouldn't feel any ways about it, and I don't feel necessary to stay married for kids. You know, we've talked about that before through the TV. But something tells me that they are both vain enough in their own separate rights that, like, he wouldn't want his fans to turn on him. Because once you lose Beyonce, does the world start throwing tomatoes at you? And then her, I don't picture her dating. You know what I'm saying? Like really, which is a shame. It really is a shame. But I don't picture her dating and getting out there and just really dipping it and doing it. And I think that if they do get a real divorce, it won't happen anytime soon. I say in like 2 or 3 years. But something tells me that it might be never, you know, and they'll just live apart silently. And people love their love. You know, us, the general population. I mean, we put pressure on them too. I love their love. I think they, you know. Although I must say, I have several cynics on the staff here at Wendy that say, it's not about love, it's about the business. You know, there's no love to love, Wendy, don't be naive. And I'm like, no, but they love each other, shut up. Yeah, but I do think, though, that they are vain enough that when the love is over and when he wants to twerk his way around the world with other women or whatever, that they will not divorce because they're scared of what we're going to say. And I say, go ahead and divorce. We'll say something for 30 seconds, and then we'll move on to the next celebrity couple. That's how we are, right? Please. Did you hear that Beyonce's daddy got another girl pregnant? I'll give you the details on that story tomorrow. Look, it's only a 1-hour show. But we'll talk about another Knowles, Solange. So she gave an interview, her very first interview since the elevator attack on Jay-Z to Lucky Magazine. That's the magazine with the stickers so that you can point to stuff. Do you read Lucky? They have stickers inside so that when you really endorse something, like on page 55, you can mark it with the sticker and then go back and buy it later. Anyway, so Solange is brushing off the whole elevator incident by referring to it as that thing, and she says that her family is all good. Well, I mean, things happen in families, and for her to brush it off as that thing, people apparently, you, not me, are upset with her for not opening up more about the fight. But you can't open up about the fight because the fight involves her sister and her sister's husband and her niece. And that's for Beyonce and Jay-Z to address, not Solange. But you know what the fight had to do with, in my mind? Other women. Another one specifically. I mean, what more should Solange say? You know, she was, as far as I'm concerned, she was a good little sister for not saying anything. But Beyonce, and besides, Solange is engaged. She's got her own life going on. She's engaged to that old man. And you know, she's got her own thing happening. In the meantime, we'll be talking about Jay-Z's alleged cheating scandal later on in the Inside Scoop. Perez Hilton is here. Yeah. I can tell you, what's making me upset about Beyonce and Jay-Z is that, you know, they're on this On the Run tour, you know, and there was some footage online of him going in to kiss her and her turning her head. For those of you who troll the internet, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, her turning her head, like, get away. And then there's also footage of her singing, you know, one of her songs, and she changed the words, and the words basically were disrespectful to Jay-Z, who, according to the words, apparently he's disrespected the marriage, allegedly, several times. But, you know, for Jay-Z and Beyonce, like don't tease us. Right now, he's the clown in this whole thing. He is the clown, and she's looking like, just either say something or say nothing. Don't do anything, you know? As a side note, though, you know, Beyonce's father, Matthew Knowles, he's still shiny. But he is shiny. Matthew, everybody says that that the divorce rumors were a ploy to sell concert tickets. Matthew also said on a radio show that elevator attack, thank you, with Solange and Jay-Z was all set up to sell tickets for the concert. Yeah, now don't you feel ripped off when when some of your favorite people lie to you about such blatant stuff? Like, they wouldn't have had to do any of that if this is all lies, for us to either love their music or not. Now you kind of look at them like scoundrels. What won't you do for that damn career? Well, look, do I think that their marriage may be in trouble? I think that all married people go through spots where their marriage is in trouble. Do I think that, you know, that touring the world is exasperating everything? Yes. I don't even think that they sleep in the same suite or in the same hotel. I bet you there's such separation that she sleeps down the street at one hotel, he sleeps up the street at one hotel. He's probably jealous because her dressing room door is closer to the stage than his. Like, you know, Jay-Z is a good guy, you know, in terms of the music, but he's not as good as Beyonce in terms of what the world at large thinks. And I've had the whole summer to think about this, and I don't think that they will ever get a divorce. You know why? Because it'll look bad for him. All of his guys and guys around the world are going to be like, how could you lose that? Now, you show me a beautiful woman who's talented, and I'll show you a guy who thinks she's a pain in the behind. And that's just how it is, you know? But I think that her divorce, at this particular point, why divorce him? Baby Blue is here, have a couple more kids. Kids don't save marriages, but they live in a unique situation that you and I don't get a chance to experience. You know, when you're married to rock stars, you got plenty of time to have a man in every port. Yeah. So why do you need a divorce? You know, anytime you want to get your thing on, you know, in that disgusting world of rock stardom, you know, he can say he's touring, or she can say, I'm going on vacation with my mom, or whatever. And so, I don't know. I root for marriage. Their marriage is weird, though. Interesting and weird. And nothing that we should emulate, because we have to sleep next to our spouses every night. And when we fight, we divide the covers and say, don't touch me, right? By the way, everybody, we're celebrating an anniversary today. It's the 1-year anniversary of Solange's elevator attack on Jay-Z! Remember, that happened after the Met Gala. So we'll see what jumps off this year. And we'll be here tomorrow to report. Okay. We're still talking the Met Gala, but this time the after parties.
Well, you know, after the party is the after party, and the after party, and the after. There were a lot of them.
Yes.
But the big one, of course, is the Met Gala official after party at the Boom Boom Room at the top of the Standard, which, as you remember, last year was the year of the Beyonce, Jay-Z, Solange elevator fight.
Yes.
Right. Well, this year they beefed up security there just in case, but they didn't show up. Beyonce and Jay-Z were nowhere to be found. But Solange did. She was like, hey, anyone want to take it now? Come on, step onto the elevator. But anyway, she was there, but what was also interesting is she went to Rihanna's after party at the Up and Down. And if you remember last year, there was some speculation that Jay and Solange got into the fight because he wanted to go to Rihanna's party. So it was kind of interesting. I wonder what they thought of her being there.
Were Jay-Z and Beyonce out at all?
They were not spotted anywhere. We were everywhere. No one saw them. Yeah.
The diner, maybe.
Yeah, the red carpet.
Okay, our first celebrity fan out comes from Jordan K, who watches the Wendy Show on KPTM in Lincoln, Nebraska. Jordan writes, how you doing, Wendy? I was in Atlanta eating lunch at a restaurant and couldn't believe who walked in. It was the queen bee herself, Beyonce. Well, you know what? I've got to say, she looks terrific for just a quick lunch. And that thigh gap that you all think that she airbrushes into her pictures, look, she's got thigh gap and firm boobs. She looks great. Anyway, Jordan says, I asked her about the infamous elevator incident, and she said while laughing, don't you even worry, I've taken care of all that. Jordan goes on to say that he thinks that Jay-Z has definitely been punished. By the way, you know, Jay-Z and Beyonce recently paid $2.6 million for a church that is no longer a church. They're going to convert it into a mansion in New Orleans. Oh. Verdict is still out on that one. Beyonce? I can't wait to read this unauthorized biography about you. Yes, that's the cover, and it hits shelves in bookstores next week. Now, to me, here's why it's going to be juicy. Because it's being written by J. Randy Tamborelli. Now, if you know, or Tamborelli, tambourine. Look, J. Randy has been writing unauthorized books about celebrities for decades. He is a legend in the unauthorized digging up the dirt column. And so the idea that he's the one writing this book is juicy. A couple of the highlights from the book include, they say someone on Rihanna's team allegedly made up the Jay-Z and Rihanna hookup to boost Rihanna's career. Well, Jay, I don't believe that. I believe there could have a hookation. Anyway, but they say that was all made up and that then it went to Beyonce's head and Beyonce got pissed about it, and allegedly the night of the elevator attack, it was sparked because Jay-Z wanted to go to Rihanna's after party after the Met Gala and Beyonce didn't want to go, and then Solange went ham on Jay-Z. You know, this book should be an interesting read. Can you read it for me? Better yet, can you read it to me?
512 pages.
Jay-Z and Solange are still fighting. I say still because I just never feel that anyone got over the elevator incident. That's a good dress Solange has on, though, isn't it? But you have to be really skinny to wear all that material, otherwise you look like a Oompa. Yeah, she looks good. Anyway, so here's what they're fighting about now. Okay, according to our friends at OK Magazine, Jay-Z is upset because Solange went along and made a lifestyle website. Well, you know what? You're my brother-in-law. You're not the boss of me. He reportedly is very furious because he was working on a similar lifestyle site for Beyonce. you know, like how these Gwyneth Paltrow people and, you know, these people have these websites. The thing about Beyonce is that I don't really look at Beyonce as a lifestyle girl. I think that Beyonce just puts on what's cute, but doesn't really take ownership of it. You know, even from when Blue Ivy was in diapers, I don't picture Beyonce being married to a particular brand. You know, I don't care about following a Beyonce recipe on some website. Beyonce could tell me that, you know, this is the best, you know, hair oil for your hair. I don't see Beyonce as being that girl, and I'm not saying this, Beehive, relax, okay? Just please do not swarm over here, because I got my bug spray ready. But, you know, in order to have a lifestyle website or a lifestyle brand, people have to be invested in what you wear, what you do, or what you eat and stuff. And I just don't see Beyonce as being that girl. I see her as being the magnificent singer and entertainer that she is, but don't try to sell me laundry detergent and tell me you use it. Whereas Solange, in a weird way, seems like the more down-to-earth, normal sister. Like if she told me use patchouli oil in, you know, when I do my hair natural, I'd be like, okay, great, because Solange is saying it. If she told me the best way to, you know, line your lips or something like that, I kind of would believe it. Or if, you know, you like hemp clothing, this is where you know, a lot of people are into natural stuff these days, you know what I'm saying? You know, if you like alkaline water, this is what I drink. If you want hemp clothing, this is what I use. Beyonce is not as believable as Solange in this lifestyle brand. And Jay-Z, you're not the boss of me, you're my brother-in-law, okay? Beyonce's a very, very private person, though. When you saw Beyonce, Solange, and Jay-Z and the security in the elevator thumping, what was your reaction to that?
I have to tell you, I laughed so hard. I laughed so hard because, you know, if you know Solange, that's Solange. That's Solange. You just never know what you're gonna get. Firecracker. Don't know where she get that from. You know, then Beyonce would be in the corner, quiet, just kind of like, when y'all finish, let me know. So I just laughed.
Laughed. Next, we've got more with Matthew Knowles. Keep it here. We're back with Matthew Knowles. So Matthew, everybody, is married. You've been married for a few years now, huh?
Most people don't even know I've been married. It'll be 5 years in a few months.
Well, this is why you're here. It's show business, so you got to show your business.